Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Press the Action Button podcast. Gee, I feel like I was just editing one of these things. Oh, wait, I was. With me this week is Slacker Chan. Say hello to the people, Slacker Chan, and by people I mean the possibly one person that might actually listen on a weekly basis. I don't know.
Moon!
Higmo.
Oh,
He's our
Higmo.
listener.
We were talking about the moon.
Yeah, well, Higmo is our listener.
You know where the moon? You know what the moon is?
Alex.
It's in space.
Can we
Space.
Can we speak with British accent?
No, you can.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I'm terrible at British accents. I
So am
keep
I, but
trying,
it's so
but
fun.
have you seen the latest
Well, then how are we going to build an airship and then be proper
was
British people and then
abysmal.
fly around the universe and insult people?
Abysmal.
Huh?
Cause like I want to try to pretend to be like Simon and Lewis from the All Cast this time around.
Well, I haven't watched enough of them because
Okay.
they have a distinctive. They don't sound like Yahtzee,
Well, yeah.
I could
Yahtzee's
imitate
an
him anytime.
Australian.
but he's English. He just lives in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Also with us this week, you already heard of his Game Face. Say hello to the people, Game Face.
Can't talk eating.
Yeah, you are eating. You're eating slow. Slower than the
Look at my
rest.
time.
The rest of us finished
It's
eating.
really hot.
That's because I just pulled it out of the oven.
That's
Okay.
what she said.
Woo! Abortion humor.
Abortion. That was horrible. I feel bad now.
Childhood obesity.
I thought you were going to say child abuse, but...
Apparently, there was a couple of doctors in Australia that were advocating, like, wrote a journal advocating after-birth abortions. That's just messed up.
That is messed up. That is way messed up.
Mhm.
Okay, this week we are drinking...
That kind of defeats the whole point
Do you
of
Yeah.
want to announce?
abortion.
Yeah,
Do you want to announce? Who wants to announce the beer? I did it last
I got myself here.
Bass!
What?
Bass.
Base?
Oh no,
Bass.
it's bass. Sorry.
Bass.
Well,
I got
let's say it
myself
the same
here
way.
a bottle of Bass. Like a bass.
Bass is BASE.
Well, unless you're talking about like bass and treble, then yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
is
what I was
spelled the same
Oh,
as
that's
that.
okay.
what you were referring to as like the bass.
Maybe that's
bar.
why. Maybe that's why I was.
Yeah, it's they are. You're right. They are spelled the same. Bass. We got Bass Ale from Bass.
They made a joke about that on some episode of All That, where this chick showed up at
Bored now,
auditions
reading your
for a
mind.
band
Yeah.
with a bass
The
and like the thing you play a violin with.
bow.
She's like, I'm ready to play my bass! And then the band's like, bass, you idiot! And then they set a bunch of speakers right by her, and the drummer hit his drum once and she went flying.
She went flying.
Yeah,
Why?
because sound waves.
Oh, she was overpowered.
By the sound waves, yeah.
That's funny.
It was. I haven't watched, man. That show was awesome when I was a kid.
All that was all that and a bag of potato chips.
It's like the dorkiest way of saying all that in a bag of chips. Okay, there we
Yeah.
go. Open mine. You can open his because you're eating.
This is the tastiest podcast ever.
Let us not wait 17 minutes.
Yeah, what's
into
the topic?
podcast
Just-
before
just-
we
just-
get to the topics
What's
this
the?
time?
Just start now because we're like. I'm sorry, but so far this has been really boring and slow and stupid.
Yeah,
What's
you
the
know
first
what we should
topic?
do? We should just like throw out all of our topics in like the first 10 or 15 minutes and then just like discuss them one at a time. So that way we have everything out of the way. I was thinking that the other day.
Well, I have thought about it in the past, announcing all of the topics that we're going to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting to them one by one.
Yeah. Announce them ahead of time so if we wanted to skip ahead a bit we could.
So yeah, let's just start with the topics.
yeah.
here.
Okay.
Okay. After we have done 2 podcasts where we talk about rumors of the next potential Xbox, Microsoft announced that they will not be revealing a new console at this year's E3. Brian Fargo, who created the Fallout series.
They'll be revealing it the day before. Continue.
Brian Fargo, who created the Fallout series, is holding his own Kickstarter event, much like Tim Schafer did. He wants to create a sequel to the pre-Fallout game that he made called Wasteland, which is a lot like Fallout, but set in modern times, but it's more modernized and not like a 50s retro future thing.
Oh yeah, Fallout.
And so he wants to get money to make Wasteland 2, and thus far he's garnered about $1 million in 2 days. It's going to be going on for about a month. The developer Critical Mass, I chose this one because we all like this movie. Developer Critical Mass is developing a co-op shooter based off the movie Boondock Saints. Yeah. Well,
I thought they did that already.
Interesting thing.
No, that was Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, that was Reservoir Dogs, and it's supposed to be not very good.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because they actually let you play out the scene inside the movie. The scene the movie didn't show inside the jewelry shop.
Seems like that's one of those things you're not supposed to know a lot about.
They did have great commercials for that though. It's like this grandmother is like serving dinner to her 2 kids. And she just like sets the dinner down and she goes, "What the fuck was I talking about?" And they're like, True Blue and Like a Virgin.
I need to see these commercials because that's funny.
And then they recreated the Mexican standoff scene with a group of kids. It was actually the commercials were kind of cool. Anyway, I'm getting way off. Diablo 3 now has a release date. It is May 15th. It will be launching without the player versus player mode. Blizzard says they need more time to develop the player versus player mode. They don't want to release it like a crappy version of it.
Okay.
So they're going to release it without the player versus player mode because everything else is finished and done. They're going to release the player versus player mode.
Are they going to charge for it?
No.
Good.
It's going to be released via update and it will be free.
You know, maybe Blizzard should just buy out Capcom so we don't have to deal with this bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
Start that petition. The petition for Blizzard to buy out Capcom.
Then they'd be Snowcap.
Okay, and the last topic that we talked about last week, where we talked about Valve potentially making a console, Valve has gone on record and stated that they will not be developing any kind of console anytime
Yeah, that
soon.
sounded
So
like...
basically, the rumors are not true. Those are the 5 topics that I chose for this week, and I gathered them together quickly while I was sitting in here, and then Paul was over there playing Mafia 2, and his kid was running around and being annoying.
Being 3.
Yeah, being 3. He was running around being 3.
Well, that's a somewhat upsetting, disappointing, but interesting list of topics.
But Steam, as far as the Steam and...
The Steam box.
Yeah, Steam box goes.
That would have been cool.
That doesn't surprise me.
I
It
kind
was
of
a
like the
rumor.
idea.
Yeah.
I already own like several Steam games, and I kind of like the idea of not having to worry about like, is my computer good enough to play this game? I bought it, I can install it, I can activate it on Steam, and then play it on my computer, on my TV. I kind of like that idea.
Well,
Yeah.
with it not being true, it's not really that big of a disappointment because it's kind of like being like,
Because it was just a rumor.
yeah, and it's not like it was a rumor like, oh, well, there's going to be, I don't know, a Brutal Legend 2, and then everyone's like, oh my god, and then find out, no, it's a rumor, you know.
I would love to
But-
see Tim Schafer
But
make
we knew
Brutal
it-
Legend 2 with the $3+ million that he got from his Kickstarter event.
Maybe he'll have enough left over that he can or start another Kickstarter.
But
For...
more than likely, he's going to do a point-and-click adventure game.
Maybe he'll start a start kicker.
Anyway, well, hopefully one of these days he'll feel like going back and doing another Brutal Legend.
Yeah,
Because it
I'm
just
hoping
did
so,
not
too.
seem complete.
Yeah.
And there's so much more that there could be added to that world.
I was
Come here,
satisfied
beanbag.
with everything that was in the game, but there could have been more to it, and it would have. I mean, it kind of ends abruptly, and I've seen more bullshit endings than the one that game has.
Yeah, it wasn't that bullshit, but it was obvious. Like, okay, we're out of money, end the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wrap it up! Wrap it
Yeah,
up!
exactly.
I'm I am slightly disappointed in this because, like I said, I thought it would be cool to play all my current list of Steam games from the comfort of my bed, on my television, through my surround sound speakers and everything. You guys have seen my setup.
The 3-year-old screaming outside your door about not being able to eat a banana.
Yeah, he would do that.
Have a banana!
And me going, shut up, Sebastian, I'm playing Half-Life.
Even though it was abruptly ended, however...
Full life consequences? 3-year-old kid.
Anyway...
Full life consequence, it's sex, 3-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was going to say, there has never been a better final boss than to start out the boss battle with Super Beast by Rob Zombie.
But was it El Super Beasto?
Super Beast that's a cool song, but it's one of those ones that I heard so many times on the radio back in the day that I kind of got sick of it, and it's been long enough now that I can listen to it again, but
let me put it this way.
I still prefer White Zombie.
You can't beat that boss before that song's over. It's impossible.
It was a cool boss.
But that was just a good starter song. There was a lot of music to play throughout
and Tim
that boss.
Curry was awesome in that game, too. Tim Curry's awesome in bad movies, just because he's Tim Curry. He was awesome
Dang
in
it, now I want...
and it sucks.
Now I want Curry.
We should do Curry.
Well, now I want Tim.
Yeah, let's do Curry.
Oh wait, I am Tim.
Okay.
Tim Curry tomorrow.
First topic, Microsoft, they said that they're not going to announce anything at E3, which means we're looking at possibly 2013, possibly 2014 before the next generation of consoles
I'm not saying I might not like the next system, but I'm going to say this, I don't care. I gotta be honest, I don't care.
I do, I'm weird like that. I do care.
Oh.
But
I think I've explained this before, but go ahead.
Well, I'm kind of a little bit excited to see what Sony will come out with next. Mainly, what kind of what they'll have their games on mainly.
But
I think
otherwise, I don't really care about what consoles come out next. The way I figure it, they'll come out in their due time.
It's looking like the Wii U is not forcing the hand of Microsoft and Sony. Because neither one of them seems like in a big rush to get out their next console now that Nintendo's announced one.
I think they're all like, oh wait, that's a separate console? I thought it was just the controller.
A lot of people did walk out of that, and that's why they're kind of doing a re-announcement thing this year at E3. They're going to show it off again. Basically,
it's Wii U too!
Basically, at E3, you're going to get Nintendo doing basically the exact same thing that they did last year. God only knows what Microsoft is going to do, but it will probably be boring. Because their last
Windows 8.
Their last two E3s were all boring, and it was like, okay, here's a game you care about, here's a shitload of Kinect stuff, here's one more game you care about. And that was it.
Yeah. The Kinect's not bad technology, it's just this new technology comes out, and no one worth a damn wants to actually use this new technology in their game.
Well, except for the guys that did...
They're doing a thing like they did in the mid-90s.
Explosion Man. The guys that did Explosion Man actually did something cool with the Kinect called the Gun Stringer, where it's like... It's interesting. It's like a Western and a puppet show at the same time. So you're kind of like controlling the Gun Stringer as he... kind of controlling like this Western undead cowboy puppet thing. It looks very unique.
I would have to say that.
It looks very unique, and looks like it would be a cool idea and might actually be fun to play. And it's actually more geared toward more serious gamers and not like the Disneyland adventure thing that Paul bought for Sebastian or anything like that.
You mean the gay?
Yeah.
You know what
might
be actually a good route to try? Wouldn't be as cheesy.
What?
As far as interaction, is some kind of rifle gun controller for first-person shooters, because they become so repetitive. The genre needs something new to keep it going. So, imagine an actual controller that had recoil on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something. Well,
but But anyway.
I know one thing that they're definitely going to show off is they're definitely going to show off more Halo 4. And a lot of gamers care about that. Not necessarily me. I've played 3 Halo games. And I'll give credit where credit is due. That they're decent. They have decent stories.
Right. It just seems
they're
like...
fun to play.
It just seems like it's more like, honestly, a kid's game. Like, I swear it's it's more geared towards the mindset of, like, a middle school.
Yeah, it's very much. I mean, Call of Duty has it has the same basic fan base as Call of Duty.
Yeah,
and those people don't care about
except
the
Halo. Except Halo fans aren't obnoxious about it.
They used to be. Used to be.
No, yeah, around at the time Halo 2 was out, they were.
God.
But I think most of the obnoxious fans went over to Call of Duty.
Hey, do you know what they call Halo in North Korea? Halo.
I've
terrible.
That is terrible.
I've played through the original Halo. I've beaten Halo 2 twice, actually. And then I've beaten Halo 3 once, and I've beaten the remake of Halo Anniversary. And the remake of Halo Anniversary actually feels like the graphical upgrade helps ease the monotony of the game. So I think the remake version of the game is a better version of Halo than the original. And it actually had a few cool features. It had, with the press of a single button, you could switch back and forth between the graphics as they originally looked and the graphics as they look now, which is kind of a cool feature so you can see. It gives you an idea of just how much they upgraded the game. Which is a cool feature.
That kind of matters to me because I just imagine me like playing with when I'm older, one of my cousins come over and then being like, we're playing a game, maybe an older school game or something, and them just being like, so where's the graphics button on this controller? And I'll just be like, punch the TV and be like, we're done.
Well, I don't expect it to.
Yeah.
I don't exactly expect it to be in any future.
Well, actually,
but from a reviewer standpoint and a reviewer mindset, which I kind of have because I've reviewed like 20 different games, it's kind of a cool feature that you can instantly compare. You know?
Well, I guess that is kind of cool.
Cheaper than buying a PS3 and an Xbox, and exactly the same, 2 of the same type HD TVs. So, Alex, you had something to say?
I wasn't trying to interrupt you, Alex.
That's okay. When you gotta finish, you gotta finish. And nice guys finish last. Oh yeah.
Mustache.
So be a jerk.
I'm playing with my
The ladies like jerks. No, I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you want to say?
It was something stupid. I was gonna say something about like kids these days. I've noticed a lot. I know some people who are like a lot younger than me, and they're all perfectly aware of like the older generations of gaming, and they're not really put off by them.
You can largely think
ROMs.
That has a lot to do with not ROMs, but
Virtual Console.
The Virtual Console and the eShop. And Sony does the exact same thing to an extent. They've released a lot of A, 16-bit games, and B, PlayStation 1 games on their console.
I was gonna say to my one friend, a friend of a friend, who we started talking about video games, and I mentioned something about the original NES, and I said, "Oh, it was so choice," and he said, "Oh, but the graphics are terrible." And I said, "I'll punch you in the face."
Yeah, I probably would have responded the exact same. Who cares? You know,
I was like, they were good for their time. What do you want? Are you not gonna watch old movies because they're in black and white?
And some
people would be like, yeah!
Especially
well, yeah,
some
they're
of the ones
old.
from the 16-bit era still look really good. And it's largely thanks to good art design. If you have bad art design to begin with, your game will always look like shit. And that will
Rascal.
always drag it down.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that game.
I love when people universally cut things excuses because they're old. I'll be like, this movie is this 50s sci-fi movie. It's so stupid. And my mom will be like, oh, well, they had different standards at the time. That was probably really cool at that back then. I was like, no, it wasn't. because it was poorly written. They had technology to do good writing back then.
Good writing, yeah.
Yeah.
Movies were traditionally slower in the 50s than they are now, but
Mm-hmm.
but good writing can still carry a movie. I mean,
You want to
we
see?
watched Forbidden Planet. That's from the
Want
50s.
to
That's a
see
good
a
movie.
modern, really slow but really good movie? History of Violence.
I've heard.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my god, it's so good. And the thing is, it went mainstream because it was a very popular graphic novel, and but it was directed by why am I having a mind blank here?
Because
He did
you're stupid.
Scanners. He did Scanners, The Brood, Existence.
Oh, that guy.
David Cronenberg.
Yeah, David Cronenberg. He was the director, and when I found that out, I was like, holy crap! David Cronenberg actually came out of the shadows and into the mainstream for a movie. And
He did some movie that was like people killing other people and then saying God. And I'm trying to remember what the name of it was.
I don't remember any movie like that thing.
And then it had like some kind of alien twist. And it was really weird.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a very obscure flick.
Dude, we own like most of his movies at our place, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Anyway, that movie was very the violence in it was like very realistic as to how when people get in a fight or people get violent in real life, what it's actually like,
Yeah.
and how quickly it starts and how quickly it's.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I have seen that. I've actually witnessed that. Another movie is very slow, but very. I really liked it. The Lives of Others. Have you ever heard it?
Is that the one that you said you were watching with your parents last weekend?
No, that was Lars and the Real Girl.
What?
Oh my gosh, have you heard of this movie?
No, I would have. Just based off the name, I'm imagining you rage quitting on your parents.
I was about to, and then about 30 minutes in, it started to grow on me. Okay, Lars is lives in like Minnesota or something. He's really awkward and shy, and like he doesn't like being touched, and like he's all like lonely. He lives in like his brother's garage is like renovated, and he lives up there. And
Wait, it's called Lars and
the Real Girl.
Oh, I think I saw the trailer for this. Doesn't he start like
And
dating
he meets a
doll?
girl, and he has him over for dinner at his brother's place and his brother's fiance's place, and it turns out it's a sex doll.
Yeah.
And it's really awkward, and it's really kind of painful until about maybe a half an hour in, and it just kind of grows on you. And get this though.
It actually looked really good.
Get this though. It's rated PG-13.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really
Did you
good.
ever
I'd
see?
recommend it.
That reminds me.
Andrew said it was his all-time favorite one of his all-time favorite movies.
It reminds me of this one movie called Punch Drunk Love.
Heard of it.
It
I
stars
don't know
Adam
much about it,
Sandler. And most people like, when someone's an actual fan of Adam Sandler, like, oh, I love Adam Sandler. Oh, so what'd you think of Drunk Punch Love? What? No, screw you. You're not a fan of Adam Sandler.
I've heard of it, but I have not seen it.
It's calling it a dark comedy is stretching it because it's really, the humor is really dry, but it's good.
That was Lars and the Real Girl was like this. There were parts of it that were
wonder
hysterical.
if it was by like the same director, because I was watching the trailer and it reminded me of Punch Drunk Love.
I'll bet they were.
Okay,
But-
Brian Fargo, who
Fargo.
is one of the
Speaking
Fargo,
of Minnesota.
he's one of the most innovative but little known people
Fargo.
in the gaming industry. He created Fallout.
Fallout.
Fallout 1, Fallout 2.
Fallout 1, Minnesota.
Please stop.
No.
Hailed as classics by the industry, but most people nowadays have
Gee
not
whiz.
played them. The people didn't really pay much attention to Fallout until Bethesda did Fallout 3, which was an amazing game. So was New Vegas, despite how incredibly buggy it was. Fallout 1 and 2 were also fantastic games. I played them, and he started a Kickstarter event, which basically he's raising funds, and he wants to get funds to create a sequel to a game that he created before Fallout called Wasteland, which is very similar to Fallout. Fallout was based on it, but...
Wait, was it Waste on Baseland?
What?
Fargo.
Brick.
Muffin.
I'm confused.
Frick, where did
So
you get
am
that
I.
hand grenade?
But yeah, he wants. Yeah,
He wants to create...
mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, he wants to create a sequel to Wasteland. And Wasteland was like probably 91, 92. It was way back in the days when games came on floppy disks, the ones that actually were floppy. So 5 and a, you know?
Oh man, the floppy disks that actually flop.
Yeah. When the name
Wow.
meant something before it was the game.
With the hippin' and hoppin' and the flippin' and the floppin'. We used those in like 2nd grade.
I can't say I've never actually played it firsthand, but I watched my brother play Fallout 3, and it doesn't look like a bad game. It just looks like something like this could have been made 10 years ago. Like,
Well, it was
Like,
based
it's
on
not
a game
just
that was made
graphic.
10 years before it.
oh, I know. And
So
I
it's
don't
Greg
mean
Hastings paintball?
I know. I don't. Yeah, I don't
Woo!
mean graphics,
Rainbow!
but I was watching him go around, and it was just buggy things. It was like that's not hard to program around, and all the character movements were so stiff and.
Oh, and I'll bet your brother was
artificial
being like, "Shut up, it's cool."
well, I first hated Borderlands because it looked so generic and it was boring as shit, especially at first. But because we didn't have anything we could play together at the time, he kept forcing me. He's like, I want to play, you want to play, this is the only game we have to play together. That and Street Fighter, and I don't want to play Street Fighter again. Because I always kicked his ass. But anyway, so yeah, we played a lot. It ended up growing on me, and I ended up liking it a lot. It seemed like Borderlands just got better the longer you played through it, and by the end, like...
I heard the ending was bullshit, though.
Not really. It was just kind of, let's put it this way, it was disappointing in the sense that you thought you were getting to the last area of the game, and you were at the second to last area, but in reality you were the second last area. And it was cool. The enemies were sweet too. They were these artificial alien-like beings, like meant for war, like the Guardians. And there were ones that came in on the ground that were extremely fast, that had blade weapons that came in and slashed at you and were extremely fast. There were other big, slow, bulky ones on the ground that were at a distance, like shooting mortars at you. And then there was flyers up in the air, and they were at a distance as well, sniping at you, basically, from the air.
Sniper, no sniping.
So it was like you're trying to dodge mortar fire, sniper from an enemy you can't see, sniper fire from a creature up in the air that's constantly moving, so it's hard to hit them. And then you got ones coming all the while trying to dodge mortars and that sniper fire. You got enemies coming up in your face, hitting you with melee attacks, basically extremely fast. So it was extremely challenging, and the enemies were basically very tacked, unlike a lot of the enemies in the rest of the game had been. You were thinking, oh yeah, it's picking up, and it turns out that was the end of the game there.
Yeah.
Like, you thought that was going to be the true beginning of the game.
I heard that the DLC was really good too.
Yeah, there was 4 DLC. When you add them together, it was basically a second game.
Yeah, it was like 20, 30 hours worth of content or something.
Yeah, eventually they sold it all together for a low price at like $30. It was well worth it.
Yeah, which is probably ultimately less expensive than buying each DLC pack individually.
Right, but, well, they came out one at a time as they were developed, and by the time we had beaten the game, had the internet again and everything, all 4 were available.
Wasteland is kind of a sad case in how much the world, the gaming landscape of today owes it, and nobody remembers it. Wasteland was, it was like 8, 9, 90, something like that, and it was before the Elder Scrolls, it was before Fallout, it was before all that, and it was a free roaming game. It was a sandbox.
Quick question: how far are we into this?
32 minutes.
Black people.
Okay.
So, without Wasteland, stuff like Fallout would not exist, The Elder Scrolls wouldn't exist, Red Dead Redemption would not exist, Grand Theft Auto, all that kind of stuff. They all owe a shit ton to Wasteland for what it did way back in the day. And it was just like this simple story, little RPG where this was even before cutscenes, so you would get to a certain point in the story and it would say, flip to this page in the manual, and then you would read it and it would tell you what happened. You remember games like that from back in the day?
Vaguely. Which one is this?
Wasteland.
Wow.
Teenage Wasteland.
Obviously,
Good song. Good jam.
Yeah, obviously, Wasteland 2
Nice
would be
marmot.
far more advanced than that, and it would probably be more in line with something like the more modern Fallout games or something like that. But I gotta wonder, he's doing this to get funding for the game, and if he gets 2 or 3 million, that's great. And he's already got 1 million, but Fallout 3 cost a lot more than that to create, So that kind of worries me, is how is he going to get the rest of the funding?
Beer.
I am.
How is he going to get the rest of the funding for that, Just thought.
With science, of course.
Maybe he's just trying to make it. Maybe the studio had said no to it, and he's just trying to make a statement by look,
People
this is how
want
much I made in. Yeah, people want it. This is how much I made in 2 days.
Well, all he has to do in this modern day and age, now that Fallout is a massive franchise thanks to 2 games being massive hits, is go, I created Fallout, and I want funding for another game. And people will go, take my money,
Exactly.
That's all he has to do. He'll get a lot of money just by saying, I created Fallout. Because serious gamers know that name. Most of them probably love it. And for damn good reason. It's a different experience when you're actually playing. It's a very, very, very in-depth, very personal, and it's like every single decision you make in that game has, rewards and consequences.
Yeah, I know. I literally, watched Sean play through all of it, all of 3.
Well, you probably would have been having a lot more fun if you had been the one with the controller instead of him. Just throwing that out there.
Anyway.
Developer Critical Mass is developing a co-op shooter based off of Boondock Saints. The co-op part is obvious because they're the 2 brothers,
Mm-hmm.
And we're all fans of that movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but how often has something that's been movie tie-in video game is just fucking shit?
Yeah, they usually suck. But I would like to bring out that they are not on they're not on any kind of time limit, because usually with movie-based games they are on a time limit and they want to get it out by the time of the movie.
Yeah,
so
I know.
when the movie gets done, the game gets done, and the result is more often than not a crappy rushed job. They don't have to rush with this, so they can take the time to make it good, and they have said that they want to do that. And I think that given the nature of the movie itself, it would lend itself fairly well to a co-op shooter experience, It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good, and given the history of video games.
I mean, very rarely is there a game based off a movie that's actually good. I heard the Captain America game was actually good.
King Kong was supposed to be good.
But yeah. We've all seen Rage Quit playing video game movies.
Yeah.
So after that,
What just happened?
Boondock
I think
Saints
we
has
just got visited by.
Boondock Saints has an
Thirsty
interesting
Hooves.
story to it too. So
Anyway,
everybody already knows the story, though. I wonder if this is going. The article did not say, but I wonder if this is going to be like a side story to the movie, kind of like the Wanted game was.
they could make it between 1 and 2 because they had been at the end of the first one, they talked about going to New York and blah blah blah. And then the second one, because it took so long to make, it's just like, oh, 8 years later, Ireland's like. So a lot could have went down that made him go, shoot, well, maybe we're biting off more than we can chew. We need to get out of here.
Oh yeah, it was like BA in the freaking A-Team movie, like suddenly being a Buddhist.
Yeah.
Or like chubby checkered psycho Belgians in the Congo. And all that jazz.
I didn't see the second one. Was it any good? I've heard mixed things about it.
Second what?
Back to the
Second
Future?
Boondock Saints.
It's not bad. It's just
Nowhere near as good.
I haven't seen that either. Now that I think
supposedly
of
they're
it.
making another one, and it felt like the second one was a lead up to the third one, and like the third one was the one they wanted to do originally, but because it took 8 years, blah, 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 basically.
Yeah.
Alex has no idea what's going on.
The panel for this, which was at like Comic-Con or something like that, I don't remember where the article said the panel was, but it actually hinted at the actors from the movie playing their same roles in the game, which that doesn't always happen, so
Yeah.
it would be cool to see.
All I can say is I'm not going to set my expectations to anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
It
I
may
wouldn't
still
set my
be a
expectations
decent
too high
or
either.
even a good game. But however, because it's the Boondock Saints, people are going to be extremely critical of it because it's a movie game and it's the Boondock
Fanboying.
Saints. Yeah, exactly. So
They're gonna be
honestly,
nitpicking everything. That's very
honestly,
popular.
the only thing that would surprise
Yeah.
me is if it ends up being an extremely good game, like 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10.
I doubt I would get. I mean, if I got my hopes up, I would get my hopes up for 7.5.
It just
you
seems
know?
like the kind of thing, like, you don't do it unless someone came up to you and said, I have an idea for Boondock Saints game. No. Wait, just hear me out before you say no. Okay. And then it said it, and the producer's like, that's fucking brilliant! You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like,
The developer said that they want.
Just in case it does end up suck, I have to say this now.
The developer.
That did not come out as I thought it would, but
The
anyway.
developer has actually said that they want to concentrate on this and put a lot of work and time and effort into it and make it not suck. I don't know
That
what else
doesn't mean
Critical
it's
Mass
going to
has done.
suck.
I don't know. I couldn't
Anyway.
tell you what their other games are.
Let's stop talking about it because it's a bad idea. But anyway,
Okay.
even if it is good, it's still a bad idea.
Yeah, my mother and them are very disappointed. Or that came out wrong.
Anyway,
Shut up, Alex.
you know,
Okay.
here's a question since you're up on all the gaming news and everything. At E3, are we finally going to get a release date for
No.
Metal Gear Rising? Also,
5.
If we are going to
What-
get a release date, they haven't mentioned anything about it.
okay, and is Hideo Kojima working on a 5th Metal Gear just a rumor, or was that
Microsoft's
confirmed?
just gonna come out and say, hey, the release date is 42. What?
They have posted job listings have been posted hinting at a new Metal Gear, and Hideo Kojima has said that he's thought about making it, and that is all the new Metal Gear
Okay.
news that we've got. So there's potential that he's working on one right now, and we could see something at E3, but we do not know yet.
What I want to see is a freaking release date for Rising. It's been in
Revengeance.
development. It's been in development for so long, and oh my god, the Metal Gear fans have been waiting to play as the cyborg freaking ninja since the first Metal Gear Solid in what,
Yeah,
1999, 1998.
We've been wanting to play as that, and you kind of sort of got to play as him if you did a whole
In VR,
shitload
yeah.
of stuff in
Yeah.
VR missions.
That's
But
the only
never
reason
got
I bought that game was to get to that. It took forever.
I never got to that.
I
never. Was it cool? Was it
Yes, yeah, it was. I mean, it was a little bit
fun? I heard
actually.
it was like a mystery story that you played through.
Honestly, no, there's different kinds. That one though with the as Gray Fox, it's actually kind of like a time attack thing. Like, see the quickest way that you can kill the soldiers without being spotted.
Okay.
But because you're so fast, you can just literally run up behind him, whoosh, like kill him like practically instantly.
What was the combat like? Was it? I mean, when you were playing it, was it anything like?
For that time period, it was actually pretty good. It was like, so why couldn't this be added to the game? The actual
I'm just
game?
wondering.
Like you could
'cause
jump.
You look at the combat and how he fought in the game, and you think the combat's going to be like, I don't know, Devil May Cry.
Right, and it is going to be kind of like that with Rising to a certain degree.
Well, that makes sense.
Except-
in the nature of the character.
Except that still the goal with that game is to make it a game where you have more control over your blade than any other game previously.
Yeah.
Because really, it's like any other game with a sword is basically hack and slash, you know.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hack and slash can be a lot of fun, as is proven by Devil May Cry and God of War. Both of those are very fun series.
But
Speaking of hack and slash, Diablo 3 has a release date. As I said earlier, the release date is May 15th. There's an interesting note to this, though. It will launch without the very, very popular player versus player mode that has thrived since basically Diablo 1 when players decided to fight each other in that game, which didn't really have a player versus player mode, but they said that they don't want to delay the game any further just because one single mode is not perfect. But they do want to take the time to perfect that one mode, and they will not charge you for it. They will release it as
stop
an update.
them from taking like 12 years to release StarCraft 2.
I know. I'm just telling you what Blizzard said.
Right.
Have you played Diablo or Diablo 2 at all?
Yes, both.
I absolutely loved them. I played the shit out of them back in the day, and I am very excited for Diablo 3 personally.
Kane. Or what's his name?
Deckard Cain?
Deckard Cain. Have you ever heard any of the prank calls people have used with the soundboard of him?
No, I have not.
Like one called like a special hotline for like the elderly. Like it was hilarious.
Did you ever hear the Deckard Cain rap called Greetings Cain?
No.
They did it. Blizzard did it as their. They recorded it as their April Fool's joke for 1 year, and it was like Deckard Cain doing this rap song. He's like, it's like, sit your ass down, or I'm gonna have to beat you. And he's talking about stay a while and listen, which was his, what he said, I think, in Diablo 1.
Yeah. Whenever anytime you clicked on him,
Oh.
stay a while and listen.
Yeah,
It's
it was,
like,
my name is Deckard Cain, and I'm here to preach you, so sit your ass down, or I'm gonna have to beat you.
And stay with me by the fire a while. And then, and only then, sire, go thee to bed. Gentlemen, to bed,
to bed.
for we arise at 9:30-ish.
See, I was not. I'm actually a little bit surprised by this. I was not expecting this game to come out this year, because Blizzard has a track record of delaying their games indefinitely, and they're working on 2 games and an expansion to a 3rd game right now.
They also have a track record of being like, hey, guess what? We're coming out with this cool looking game. Wait, a month later, guess what? We canceled it. It's never gonna be completed. We don't care how outreach you are.
Yeah, Ghost looked awesome.
Yeah, they hit a lot of cool looking trailers for
And
it,
then
and then
they
they're
did-
like, you know what? Nah, we're not gonna do it.
There was a Warcraft game that they were going to develop. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was going to be an adventure game, and it was going to star the main character for the Orc campaign of Warcraft 3. Thrall, yeah, Thrall was his name.
Okay.
And it was going to be about his life after he got left behind when the orcs went back through the dark portal, and him being raised by humans. And it looked like this sweet, like, point-and-click type adventure game, and they canceled that too. So StarCraft Ghost isn't the only time they've done that.
That just made me think of the South Park WoW episode How does one kill that which has no life? Anyway. So...
I'm glad
Isn't
they're not going to charge people for this afterwards. They're just going to put in the extra work. Go, here, we wanted this game we wanted this in the game originally, so here. It's going to be on the disc.
It's because
But
it's
it's not, so
Blizzard and they're cool.
not Capcom.
Yeah. Not Capcom or
Every
EA
single-
or Activision.
And every single game they release is extremely high quality, even if I don't care for every single game they release, because I don't give two shits about Warcraft, or World of Warcraft. I would like another Warcraft game that's actually about war.
You mean
and not about-
RTS?
Yeah, I want an RTS Warcraft game.
I'll stick with StarCraft for the RTSs.
StarCraft is amazing too. I love the StarCraft universe, and I love Diablo, and I'm really excited for this game whenever the fuck it's coming out.
Where are we time-wise with this?
48
5.
minutes, 49 minutes. We just reached 49 minutes.
We should talk about Minecraft now.
Okay.
There's lots of squares.
Yeah, there's lots of squares.
You Lambo.
Lambo. What happened to Lambo?
Was that your black sheep?
Yes, that
just
was my
chilling
black
in your
sheep.
backyard?
Now I have to replace him with Jean-Claude Van Lamb.
No, it was going to be Meryl Sheep
Meryl Sheep.
and then Jean-Claude Van Ham.
That's right.
You're going to have a pig. Not because having a pig has any point in the game, but just because you can name it Jean-Claude Van Ham.
And you can put a saddle on it and go for
I was proud of myself when I came up with the name
Yeah, I tried
Jean-Claude Van Ham.
Yeah. It was awesome.
If
There's
I ever
much
had a
rejoicing.
pig, I would
Do it.
name it. What's his name? Jean-Claude Van Ham.
Some Van Hammond.
But anyway, well, no, that was the last topic, or was it the last topic was the Steam box?
Yeah, the rumors that the Steam box was not coming.
But I think we kind of already talked about that,
We
though.
kind of already talked about that.
So we should just talk about Minecraft and how you don't play Minecraft.
Yeah,
I know you're gay because you don't play Minecraft.
I'll probably give it a try in the future, and I'll upgrade my home computer. 'Cause I want to play it on my home computer and not my laptop.
Well, yeah, I tried playing on your laptop and it failed miserably.
Which I don't understand because
Yeah.
that's a quad-core laptop. It's
It's
not a
probably
bad
the video card.
one. The video card probably isn't all that good. I mean, it's a laptop that my parents bought for my grandfather, maybe rest in peace.
Anyway,
Sorry.
that was me yawning and going, yeah, Alex is asleep. But
I'm just more drowsy than I thought I was gonna be. What's on my head? What's on my head? I'm actually gonna come over to
Beer.
space.
Beer.
Beer. Corn beer. Beer.
oh,
I'll get a beer.
the space mod.
The space mod.
There's I'm sorry, moon mod. And a
Space
Mars
shuttle.
mod.
He
Oh,
built a
sorry.
moon. He built a moon mod.
That
A retarded one.
no, that moon's retarded. No, there's literally a mod. Okay,
And you killed yourself in it too, didn't you?
Yeah.
so there's this mod someone made. Like you saw the Nether portal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this mod where if you take 9 buckets of milk, it makes cheese. So if you take if you take enough cheese, you can make a portal with cheese, which takes you to the moon. But you have to make you have to make a space suit though, and there's other space gear that you can take with you. But
Mine on the moon.
wait, yeah, but I don't know if there's anything below the surface. The surface is just all like gravel. But yeah, when you first go to the moon, it's just like nothing. Like it's really dark and it's all gravelly. But you look up, you can see the Earth just square. And like he's showing how there's like this basically like moon tent you can make that like once you activate it, it automatically builds itself. It has oxygen in it, so you can take off your helmet and everything, take off the suit in there.
So what happens to
But,
your character if you take off the helmet while on the moon and not?
You lose oxygen extremely fast and you suffocate and die. But,
your head explode?
no.
That would be awesome.
But, no, there's
Then I
even...
would take off my helmet on the moon just to watch my character's head explode.
Your face explode!
But, there's even, like, little movement.
Yeah, and I would
around.
record it. And I would be... At the very moment that his head exploded, we would just play that clip.
Mhm.
That'd be awesome. Your face explode!
But also, yeah, it was pretty good. Like there was low gravity and there's little movement. They don't attack you or anything. They just go around going duh. And, like
Yeah, they're
Do
hilarious.
they walk around going, "We're sailors on the moon,
No.
carry a harpoon"?
I like how the one guy Lewis put it. He's like, it looks like the Enderman's retarded cousin. But no, it's pretty cool looking at it, but it's unfortunate because I don't know if it'll work with the current update or not, or if anyone's continued working on it because the original guy who created it stopped working on it.
That's
Because
yeah.
he said he's like stuff
You have
has
a
come up.
text message.
I do.
I was gonna put it in your pocket, but then you
Well, you sort of did.
But then you didn't have a pocket. You don't care about your text message.
No, not really.
But anyway.
It's Izzle.
So, Alex,
Yeah,
what do you
yeah,
think's
really.
the best mod we should put on the server whenever you're at your parents' house next?
Sausages.
I'm not aware of a sausage mod.
Me neither. It's because we don't have the mod yet. I don't know, I made that up, but there should totally be a sausage. A sausage. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. The sausage?
The sausage? The with no limits in which to stick the sausage? Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that.
totally. That.
That's what I just said.
Your mom just said that.
My mom goes to college. Ooh, what now? What now,
Your mom
jabroni?
bounces on my dick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
So, first rule of this game is to suck every penis that comes our way. I don't know why that came
Good
apart.
podcast.
I don't know, but Smodcast is awesome.
But, so, Alex, seriously though, what are you thinking? Should be unanimous.
We strive to be
What
as
should
high
we-
class as Smodcast.
Other than the pony mod, what other mods should we sneak onto the server?
I thought you guys were gonna do the vehicle mod and then like run over him with a tank.
That's one idea, but I thought like the helicopter mod might be cool. Just so Ian's like working on his tower, and then all of a sudden, just like
Hey,
Yeah,
if first-person
fame.
He
shooters
just
taught me
turns
anything,
around.
it's that helicopters in video games is like a recipe for disaster. Something bad will happen to you if you get in a helicopter in a video game. Think about it. It's true, isn't it? They're like the worst possible mode of transportation in video game history because every single time someone gets in one, somebody like blows it up and you crash and barely survive, or someone sets off a nuke off in the distance and the shock wave gets you and you crash and crawl away and see the broken landscape before you die. That's what Call of Duty 4.
no, helicopters are very convenient.
Not in
They
video
have
games.
air travel. They're just not as fast. They're an easier target to hit.
Then there's blimps.
Well,
Blimps are slow.
shooting a
Yeah,
blimp is
and
like
blimpy.
shooting a retarded person for not being smart enough.
You shoot retarded people?
No, I don't. I just make my point. It's like you would see a blimp and you'd be like, "Oh crap, blimp!" It's not even worth it.
What if the blimp was firing at you? Well, what if the blimp was full of Nazis?
You could outrun a blimp.
Because fucking what was that lame ass game that had Nazis come into America and try to take over the United States like the Nazis won World War II and came here?
What?
Turning Point, Fall of Liberty. Yeah, there were totally Nazi blimps in that game.
There were Nazi blimps in real life, you boob.
Yeah, but there were Nazi blimps in America in that game. There weren't Nazi blimps in America in real life.
Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, if it's a Nazi blimp, I'd blow it up. But if it was a French blimp, I'd be like, the French.
They think it's a good military vehicle because they're dumb and French.
Anyway,
You guys want to go to France and throw rocks through windows and have them surrender to our superior military tactics?
I was thinking baguettes from cannons.
I was thinking we just should make them give us other pastries. No, wait, that's a bad idea. Then they would win. We all get too fat to do anything.
There was like an Irish guy or something in Call of Duty 3 that had like
Probably was
the best
extremely-
line about the French. It's like, French are only good for two things: surrendering and kissing. It was awesome.
Anyway, where are we with this thing? I feel like we should just kill it, because this is...
Yeah, we're at 59 minutes. You guys want to sign off?
Yeah, let's just kill it.
Because I don't want to go for an hour 17 like we did last week before I cut it down. This has been another edition of Press the Action Button podcast here on digital-delirium.com. As always, I am your host, Joystick. With me this week was Gameface. Say goodbye to the people, Gameface.
Goodbye to the people game face? Yes, I went there. We are the hooligans.
Just came up to me and whoop. Also with us this week was Slacker Chan. Say goodbye to the people, Slacker Chan.
don't
need
know.
a hero.
That was a shout out for Yogs Cast. Yogs
Oh, yeah.
Cast.
We will talk to you guys next week here on
Rainbow Dash!
I don't think
We can't
it's
go
that
one
bad.
podcast without at least you making at least one pony.
Oh, that was also still kind of a Yogs casting. When he was just the one time he's just like, oh, it's Rainbow Dash! Like he lost his voice or something, and they just started cracking up.
Okay,
Anyway.
we will talk to you guys next week here on digital-delirium.com.
Bind all of us together, a place with hope and free. No storm or heavy weather will rock the boat, you'll see. The time has come to close your eyes and still the wind and rain. For the one who will be king, the watcher in the ring. It is you.